Billy got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face. Not live on YouTube, but we will be on YouTube, and we'll be on all your favorite podcasting platforms. EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This is Boot to the Face, and we are here, and we are 2 weeks away from Las Vegas. Yeah. EJ, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing swell. How about yourself?
I'm a little frustrated. We just spent like 20 minutes trying to go live on YouTube, and the move from Skype, I guess, kind of fucked everything up. But all of my computer stuff isn't working. But, you know, what kind of streamer would you be if you didn't have technical issues?
Hey, man, technology's a motherfucker sometimes. But, you know,
And
roll with the punches.
it's fucked up too, right? Like, it's like all this shit is set on my computer. I turn my computer on, I pull up whatever notes we got, I video you on Skype, and everything connects. And today, everything was like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, man. What can you do, though?
Yeah. But we're still here. We're on audio, which is the best place for you to listen and get our takes on the world of professional wrestling, which we will have a lot of today. But first, I don't even know if I should do it now because my video sucks. But what the fuck? 2 weeks from yesterday, 13 days from now, is the official start to WrestleMania T-shirt week. April 14th? Is that Monday? April 14th through April 20th. That sounds right. WrestleMania T-shirt week. You post a picture of your favorite wrestling shirt that you own, or a picture of you in your favorite wrestling shirt that you own. Use the hashtag WrestleMania T-shirt week. That's T, not T-E-E. T-shirt. T-I. I'm sorry. I fucked up already. T-S-H-I-R-T. T-shirt week. And the winner this year will receive a brand new, unopened, still in the shipper, Sting the Ripper figure. I'm showing you the one that I own right here on YouTube. When you open it up, it's from All In, where were they at? London. Brand spanking new. That is the prize this year. Hopefully we can get a lot of people to play along, but WrestleMania T-shirt week starts in 13 days, and although I can't win, EJ, I'm fucking ready this year. I'm coming with some heat.
Yes, sir. That's what it's all about. A little bit later this year, but, you know, still that time of year.
Oh, man. WrestleMania itself is later, but WrestleMania itself is earlier because we'll be in Vegas. So, like, all of the fucking parties and everything's at like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. It's going to be a long week in Vegas, dog.
Man, looking forward to it, but maybe not my liver.
I tell you what, so I got, when I'm staying at Circa, because I gamble so much at like the D and Circa and I use their rewards program, they gave me like $200 in food and beverage coupons. And that's where we went to last year for our guys trip. We went to that steakhouse. That's there. And at Circa, there's another steakhouse downstairs where they have these bomb ass steak and cheese egg rolls. Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna be eating steak all weekend.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. A little
And
red
it's
meat in
free.
your life.
And it's free. That's the best part.
Yeah. If it's free, it's flowing. It's me and I'm going.
I ain't never heard that one. Um, EJ and myself have decided we're going to Wale Mania. So if you're going to be at Wale Mania, chances are you'll see us there drunk. I've already alerted the good folks over at Wale Mania on Twitter, and they said they'll be looking out for us to get security to call us out.
Really?
uh, yeah, it was just a little. They're funny on Twitter. I don't know who runs that account, but they do well. I tweeted out we would be there, and I said we'll probably be drunk. And I posted a picture of, like, this white girl trying to find her hotel room, and she like falls down the hallway. And they reposted it and were like, "Yeah, we'll have security looking out for y'all."
That's what's up. Yeah,
But
man, it should be a good time.
Wale Mania with the guest of honor this year, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Such a random choice, but I guess it's like a pocket of like black wrestling world that really big, real big Jeff Hardy fans for some reason.
Yo,
Like
Jeff Hardy was big in the hood when I was younger. Like when he was hot and coming up, niggas loved Jeff Hardy where I was from. I don't know why. I was always a Matt Hardy guy, but motherfuckers love Jeff Hardy. Imagine being Matt Hardy though. You like the Hardy Boys couldn't be the guest of honor, just Jeff.
yeah, that's crazy work. But Matt does have like 700 kids though, so maybe he's not as free.
And a fine, crazy wife.
Rebby.
Former host of Busted Open. Were you listening to Busted Open back when Rebby was on there?
Hell no. I didn't even know she was a host.
Yeah, she was one of the first wrestling characters that were on the show back in the day.
That's what's up.
Her and fucking Larry Dallas. That fucking guy.
I remember him on the show. I don't remember Rebby being on the show.
Yeah, Rebby was one of the first. It was Joe, Dave, Doug, and Rebby was a like once a week host back then.
Maybe that day, maybe it was like Fridays, and I didn't get a chance to listen.
Well, this is when they were only like twice a week, I think.
Oh, this is
Yeah, this is way back in the day. Like I don't even think my daughter was born yet when I was listening back then. I had just gotten Sirius XM. I was listening to Cavino and Rich, and I found out there was a wrestling show. And I was like, fuck yeah. I don't agree with these motherfuckers, but it's pro wrestling. Let me listen to it. And then they started getting guests and shit like that. So, but yeah, we'll be at Wally Mania. I'm staying at Circa, so I'll probably get up, grab a Bloody Mary, and head to the Busted Open. What do they call it? The Masters class. That'll be at 11 a.m. It'll be in the same hotel I'm staying in, so I'll probably pull up to that, and then Thursday maybe go to WrestleCon. Shazza McKenzie said she'd be there, so.
Who?
Shazza McKenzie. She's an Australian wrestler.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen me retweet some of her stuff.
I'll have to do my research. You know, I like embracing all walks of the wrestling world. So shout out to her.
She won't be here much longer. She couldn't get her visa extended, so once her visa expires, she's headed back to Australia.
I mean, I feel like, you know, besides what's going on with the current administration, I feel like even before then, like it was a lot of the wrestlers having troubles with like visas and all of that. I wonder, like, why it's such a pain in the ass.
I feel like it's because of the current administration. So they're making shit hard. So when I went to Japan a month ago, it's been a month already. Leaving America, going into Canada, and going to Japan was seamless. Coming back, landing from Tokyo to Toronto was a pain in the ass. We had 2 hours as a layover, and we barely made our fucking flight. Like, I had just enough time to buy a bag of all-dressed chips, grab a drink, and we were literally like the last people to get on the plane because there's so much red tape and shit they put trying to get back here, knowing you're American, and them not like. I'd never seen anything like it. It was just so like we had to go through customs, then we had to go through security, then we had to go to another form of customs, and then we had another security thing just to get back into America. So they basically just made you stand in line for damn near 2 hours. When why do I need to go through customs when I just went through customs in Tokyo? Like, what the fuck would I pick up on an airplane for 14 hours from there to here? You know what I mean? Like, why am I having to go through all okay, I'll go through customs and security one time, but twice? They're literally just doing it to fuck with us.
It's a damn shame, man. Like, why not make life easier? Why make it harder? But that's a whole different conversation for a whole nother day.
Yeah. Let's not fucking fuck around, EJ. Let's get into some wrestling. We got a lot going on tonight. We got a whole lot of WrestleMania developments that took place that we needed to cover. We got AEW Dynasty, which takes place this weekend. I feel like we just had an AEW pay-per-view like 3 weeks ago, but here we are about to I don't even think Moxley's fucking back wounds are healed yet, and he's about to have to wrestle again.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I guess Revolution, because Revolution is usually early March. Maybe it was more so mid-March this year. Because I remember I'm pretty sure we went last year, early March. But yeah, it does seem like a quick turnaround, but it's already April, so got to get the show on the road.
March 3rd last year.
Yeah, I think it was like around that.
And it was a good time, by the way. I know you got there like the day of, but we went out the night before in Greensboro. I had no idea Greensboro was a college town.
Either.
We went to a couple different bars, myself, my girlfriend, Hoop, my boy Steelman. We all went out, and there was like a couple other people there. And we went bar hop. We were out till like 2 a.m. that night.
Oh, word?
Yeah, and that's late for me. I know any young people listening like 2 a.m., motherfucker, that's when I leave the house. Yeah, that's late for a motherfucker 42 like myself.
Yeah. Last year, you're right. You got the exact date right. It was the 3rd. This year, it was the 9th. And Dynasty is happening on April 6th. So, I mean, it's still about 4 weeks spread out.
Yeah.
It just seems like it kind of flew by. I don't know what's going on with Father Time right now.
Tell you what, man, the older you get, the quicker your birthdays get here.
That's true.
We'll get there one day, EJ. Once you hit 40, them bitches start flying. I feel like my 40th birthday was like last year in Vegas, and I'm coming up on 43 already.
It's crazy, man. That's why you gotta live it up every day. You never know.
YOLO,
Tomorrow,
as the kids say.
As they used to say. Now those kids are almost geriatric now.
Them kids older than us now. They used to say YOLO.
Exactly.
Any other Vegas things you want to talk about? I know we got we're doing Wale Mania. We're also doing what was the other thing we said?
After party, like I think it's the WrestleMania Night 1 after party.
Yeah, the WrestleMania after party with the Usos. We didn't. I mean, EJ could probably afford this, but I can't. Like the $500 meet and greet with them, on top of having to buy a ticket to get in. So you're looking at like $650, maybe even $7.
I mean, in theory, I could afford that, but why would I want to waste money on that? I'd rather put it into something more,
Right. When I said you can afford it, like I could afford it too, but you're rich, EJ. You could afford it, like, and it wouldn't bother you. I could afford it. Be like, why the fuck did I spend $700 on
that? No matter how much money I make, even though I'm not rich, to clarify that for anybody listening, like I'm still gonna be, smart with my money. And if it doesn't have any type of, value in it, it'll kind of appreciate a little bit. Something like that. My brain isn't wired to splurge on something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be if Jay wins Saturday night. That's gonna be a fucking party though. That's what I'm banking on. Like if they imagine, imagine they send him to the party at fucking midnight and he's on night 2, like opening the match. He's gonna have to be sober and be in there while his brother's drunk as hell. Cause I don't even think Jimmy's on the show right now. After that ass whooping he just took on Monday night, he probably ain't. Um, could you imagine? That'd be rude as fuck though, right? Like, hey, we're gonna put you on night 2. You're not the main event. You're probably gonna open the show, but the night before, about 12 hours, you got to go to this Club Live. I feel like Liv Morgan should be there every night. By the way,
Man, maybe that's where she got her name from. Liv was around for forever. Not the one in Vegas, the one in Miami was been around forever. Maybe she took some inspiration.
I'm not. I'm not real happy that I'm not going when Liv's gonna be there.
Oh, Liv is gonna be at Liv.
Yeah, she's gonna be there. I think Thursday night, maybe.
Good marketing. I'd rather be at Wale Mania.
Yeah, he said Samantha Irvin will be there or Samantha Ricochet.
Samantha Ricochet. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, congrats to them on their wedding. Really good pictures I saw everywhere. Have you noticed? This is random. Have you noticed the like appreciation of Karrion Kross from the black community lately on like social media?
I have not. I didn't know he was getting love like that.
Apparently, Karrion Kross is like a really good fucking dude in real life, and like people love this guy. And he was at him and Scarlett. Also, like clearly he's a good guy because Scarlett.
I mean, yeah, I've seen some baddies that was pieces of shit, but it seems like he might be the exception because I've heard he's a good guy as well.
Yeah, Gigi Dolan's boyfriend. I don't even know his name.
Allegedly.
Pete Wentz or some shit like that.
I don't disrespect Zach Wentz like that, man. Pete Wentz, Fallout Boy. That's Fallout Boy, man.
Zach Wentz wishes he was fucking Pete Wentz.
Oh, man. Anyway, I feel like we're going off topic here, but
wait, what did Pete Wentz do? Did he do something wrong?
No, not Pete Wentz, but you're shitting on Zach Wentz for no reason.
I ain't shitting on him. I'd rather be Fallout Boy than Zach Wentz. Oh wow, you're with the fucking Rascals. I'd rather be in Fallout Boy.
I fuck with the Rascals, but
Zach Wentz is like, I'd rather be in Gigi Dolan, but whatever.
You're talking about Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it back. Apparently, Karrion Kross is a really good dude, and he was at the wedding, and his contract is up, which is a big deal somewhere. I remember Karrion Kross when he was in TNA, and he was like a security guard or something like that, and he attacked the world champion, and like it was very ominous, like. I can't even explain it to you. Like it was just creepy looking. Like he was the guy's security guard, and then out of nowhere, he just fucking attacked him. And before you know it, he's the world champion. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude?
Killer Kross.
Yeah, he was Killer Kross back then.
You think he resigns? I feel like he's finally picking up a little bit of traction with his like devil's advocate.
I feel like he went to WWE. He lived his dream. It wasn't what he thought it was, and now he's gonna go and make a lot more money in AEW or TNA. Maybe not a lot more money, but comparable money, and be able to actually be on TV and be on the show.
Well, I think it'd be interesting if he re-signed with WWE. I don't know if I trust the type of talent he is with AEW. You know, big men don't get treated the best over there. TNA, I mean, that'd be a safe pick going back to where he, started earlier. But I think it's a travesty what they did with Scarlett. She could talk and she could work, and she's been a mute for the past like year. That's crazy to me.
I agree. I thought Scarlett was really good.
Gee, she was fighting dudes in TNA, wrestling against dudes.
Yeah,
I had the smoke show gimmick.
I don't know why why WWE decided to put her on the shelf like that and just have her be. Their intro was so good too, and then they even went away from that. I hear he was a Triple H guy. I don't know that,
That's what I
but
heard too.
yeah, it's like Triple H was a big fan of him, but yet you take his entrance, you take everything from him, and you don't even have him wrestling anymore. They beat the fucking Wyatt family, and then you released his two fucking heavies.
Yeah. Crazy. And Paul Ellering, the legend.
Yeah, Paul needs to go home.
But damn, man.
What?
This was wrong with our generation. Never showed respect to the legends.
I am showing respect. He need to take his old ass home. He could barely get up the steps.
It wasn't even like he was wrestling, just managing.
Got that man walking around trying to talk and whatnot, hold microphones and shit. He could barely stand up. Send Paul Ellering home, man. Put him on Legends contract. Make some fucking action figures out of him. Let that man live.
Yeah, but like you said, they got rid of his. Like you said, they got rid of his muscle, and yeah, maybe he is out the door. Like you said, I guess we have to wait and see what happens.
So we'll be at Wale Mania. We'll be at the after party. WrestleMania more than likely night one, at least for me. I don't think I'm gonna do night two. I think night two I might find a watch party somewhere. And I gotta find some time to gamble, man. I was looking at my schedule. It's like so fucking tight. Like I don't even have time to sleep. It's like I get there Wednesday night. All right. Thursday morning, I wake up, grab a Bloody Mary, bust it open. Then go to fucking WrestleCon. Then Thursday night, correct me if I'm wrong, that's Wale Mania, right?
Yep.
I also have to check into my other hotel because I'm getting 2 free hotels. So I have to go over to the strip, take all my shit over there. Wale Mania is probably gonna last till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, more than likely. No time to gamble. Wake up Friday, go to WWE The World. Then you got the fully posable meetup, which I don't know what time that is. I think that's at like 3:30. SmackDown's at night, so people are gonna be going there. I might have time to gamble Friday night or just hang out. So if anybody wants to hang out, buy me a drink. Let me know Friday night. Saturday I wake up, I go to WWE The World. I'm sorry, that's WrestleCon. WrestleCon is Saturday. And then I got something else, I can't think of it. WrestleMania starts at 3:30. I want to be there by 2:30, so I get in and like scope out the scenery. Like I want to take some videos and shit like that of the arena. And then Sunday I get up and I go meet Sting at fucking 10 a.m., which means I need to be in line at like 8 a.m. if I don't. You saw the line at WrestleCade for Sting. This is gonna be twice that.
Man, you're gonna have to take a nap at some point. All that stuff you got on your schedule.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I'm gonna go to WrestleMania night unless if they move like Jay and Gunther and Bianca, Rhea, and Io to night 2, I might have to go to night 2 because those are really the two. And I mean Cena and Cody, but those are the 2 matches that I'm most interested in. I also want to see Jade and Naomi. So like if they move a good portion of the matches that I want to see to Sunday, I might have to buy like a cheap ticket and just sit up there next to Sting in the rafters. But hopefully
that's
they
my
don't.
plan.
Yeah,
that's my plan for night 2 is get a cheaper ticket.
Hopefully they don't, and night 2 is a wash, and I can just kind of like watch it at a casino or something like that. And then I leave about 2 o'clock on Monday. And Vegas is my favorite city in the world, so it's like I'm also gonna try to like my best friend lives there. I gotta try to hang out with him. Me and you are gonna hook up and do multiple things there. I got Ray, Dodgers fan, he'll be there. Damian Cruz, big listener to the show. He might pull up. I got all these people that I want to hang out with and meet, and then all this other shit's going on. It's like I don't think there's. Elvis Presley said it best. I wish there was more than 24 hours in a day. Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, just people that kind of expecting to hang out with you. They'll know that you got a tight schedule. I don't think they'll take it to heart.
It's not about them taking it to heart. It's about me being like, when else am I going to see these people? So like, I'm going to be up drinking coffee, taking no-dos, like Robin Harris used to say.
Yeah.
Vodka Red Bulls. That'll be my drink of the weekend. My heart might blow up, but goddamn it, you're going to hang out with Rucker this weekend.
Yeah. I feel you, but try not to spare yourself too thin.
I'm going to make you go with me every time, EJ.
Ha! You said you're going to WrestleCon on Saturday morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be at Stand and Deliver.
Oh, you're going to Stand and Deliver?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I thought about that. Those tickets are so fucking high, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of price watching, seeing what the market does with these tickets. But
there's so much shit I want to go to. Like every time I look up, there's another show. Like GCW is gonna be there, TNA is gonna be there. There's just so much shit, and there's just not enough fucking time. This is where a WrestleMania on the East Coast would make more sense.
Yeah, and what aspect though?
Because WrestleMania starts at 3:30, so everything else is starting in the morning. Like NXT Stand and Delivers at like 8:30. EJ.
Yeah, I went last year. It started at noon, but like you said, it's 3 hours back now.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
That is.
You're literally gonna leave Stand and Deliver on Saturday and go straight to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a gap last year, but probably not this year. I went back to my Airbnb last year after Stand and Deliver.
What time did you say Stand and Deliver starts?
It was I don't know about this year. I know last year was at noon.
This year's at least 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
so
I see that.
If you think 3 hours, 3.5 hours is 12:30. WrestleMania starts at 3:30. So you need to be there by like 2:30 to get to your seat because there's gonna be 60,000 people there.
Last year in Philly, I don't know, things might change by stadium to stadium. It wasn't like a crazy ass line to get into WrestleMania. It was maybe like 10 minutes. They did a good job of like putting, the right personnel in place, collect tickets and whatnot. But you never know. It's Vegas. Might be different.
I don't know if you heard this or not, EJ, but this past Friday night, they announced that the main event for WrestleMania Saturday is going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. They had a contract signing on SmackDown. Give me your thoughts on it, EJ.
I mean, I kind of feel the same like how I have been the past few weeks. Like, what are the stakes? You're just doing it just because they're names, but WrestleMania is supposed to be like stakes on the line when it comes to the main event. So, I mean, you're there to make money, and those are the three people that make the most money as far as like superstars go. So it makes sense. But I like it to fit within the context of like tradition and storytelling as well. So what are they fighting for to close out night one? I don't know. I feel like something needs to be on the line for it to make sense in the context of Mania. Because, okay, I guess you could take it back to what, Undertaker Roman? That didn't have anything on the line and it closed things out, but it's still like almost like a passing of the guard. So, for as anybody's counter would be, to my counter would be just look at Roman and Undertaker, but
Rock and Cena.
Yeah, the first one. Rock Cena.
And Cena won. First time ever, never again, or whatever the hell they called it.
Yeah, but I still feel like it had more stakes because it's like mashing of a generation, like a guy for one generation. So I guess like Roman Undertaker is really the closest thing because Roman was still kind of on the come up, and Undertaker was a legend. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little weird to me. And then taking a spot from Jay and Gunther, which is kind of understandable, but still kind of shitty. The Royal Rumble winner doesn't get to close the show.
Neither of the Royal Rumble winners.
Yeah, goes for the women as well.
Neither of the Elimination Chamber winners. So you have two pay-per-views built around.
Cena's losing out.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Cena and Cody will. But you have two pay-per-views built around challenging for a title, a world championship at WrestleMania. 4 matches. And one of them you put as a triple threat. I get it. Roman Reigns by himself is bigger than Jay and Gunther. Roman Reigns by himself is bigger than Bianca and Io, maybe Rhea. Roman Reigns by himself is bigger than Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. You add in CM Punk and you add in Seth Rollins. I get it. They're bigger names. But there's no title at stake. There's no stipulation at stake. Now, Paul Heyman probably going to turn and go with Seth Rollins. It'll be a big angle. But going into it, I just don't think, and this could be a little bit of bias, I think Jey Uso is the most over star in the company right now. And if you get over, you get in. So to not have him main event for a world title is crazy to me. I get it. Roman's main event 10 times. You really can't have WrestleMania. The only time Roman hasn't been in the main event was Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda, where he wrestled Drew McIntyre, I think. And I can't remember another main event without Roman in it. Like, I can't remember him wrestling on the undercard. Besides being in the Shield, I think the Shield beat like Big Show, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan one year or something like that. But as far as Roman himself, I can't remember him not being in the main event. And I get it. He's got this cachet, but it just doesn't feel right. And I'm a Roman guy. I've been a Roman guy for years. Jey Uso guy. But it doesn't feel right.
So I'm gonna push back a little. I don't think Jay is the most over guy in the company. He has the most fun entrance, and people love that. But Roman, even the reaction, overseas, Roman, Punk, still, I think, more over than Jay. But I get what you're saying. But
if I could push back real quick, I don't think overseas is a good barometer for who's
they are
the most
annoying. They are annoying over there, but I don't want to go too much. Yeah, they're annoying. Like it's a thin line of like.
I like them. Their second week, it was like, okay, we get it. By the third week, I was like, would y'all shut the fuck up? Like, I'm trying to listen to Cody and Cena.
Yeah, it's like the hijacking of the promos. I don't like that. Like you could be enthusiastic during the matches, but like when you like interrupting promos, that's when it starts to get a little annoying. But like you said, that's overseas is kind of not of a good gauge. But I still think Roman is like slightly a notch over Jay as far as over. And then Punk is like a different category because he's like almost like a nostalgia act at this point. But I digress. We at the end of the day, we still both have the same thoughts of it doesn't feel right of Roman, Punk, and Rollins main eventing over a title match. But it's what came up. I just thought of something off the top of my head when you were saying that. If they're really about that life, why not have Seth or Roman take the title off of Cody, like back in Royal Rumble season? Okay. Obviously, you don't want to take the belt off of Gunther because you're using this to propel Jay. So you could have left that alone. and then still have Cena turn and go against Cody, even though I know the title is a part of the story, but not. You could go back to that him trying to get the title a little bit later on this year, but just have him basically say most of the same shit like fuck the fans, like you're the new it guy without the title. That could be like I could have opened the show. That's just a marquee match without the title. Cody and Cena have it the second to last match or open up a night, then have the triple threat main event night 2, have Jay main event night 1. Like I think that would have worked.
That's a lot of moving pieces. I don't think you take the title off Cody if it's not WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Why not? You've been wanting the title off him for the longest, and you didn't have a specific place where he had to drop the title.
That's not true, technically.
Technically, a technicality. What's the technicality?
I'm a Cody guy. Like, I like Cody. I don't think he's good as champion.
I don't think it has to be necessarily at these marquee events where he had to drop the title.
Yeah, they made such a big deal out of him finishing the story. I don't think he can drop it on the fucking Saturday night's main event. Yeah, just SummerSlam, WrestleMania. I get all that. Cena wins the 17th world title. Ric Flair's got to hand him the belt. Like, I get where they're going with all that. But to me, Punk, Roman, and Rollins doesn't say main event. Roman says main event. Seth Rollins has never been a WrestleMania main eventer until last year when he was the fourth wheel in a tag team match. CM Punk has never been a WrestleMania main eventer. Like, that doesn't scream main event. It screams great match. Like, I'm fucking excited for it. That contract signing was ridiculously good. Like, there's so much shit that came out of that I like. It just doesn't say main event of WrestleMania to me when there's actual titles on the line during WrestleMania. This is just a match of whose dick is bigger. Right? It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's why stakes, not having any stakes on the line makes it feel weird. And like even if it wasn't a main event, triple threat, like triple threats usually always have a title on the line or a contendership on the line. Like what are all three of us fighting for?
Yeah, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman on the pole match.
Yeah, that could main event and have Paul Heyman on a pole, but yeah, main event over a title, I agree. But if they had a title on the line, then of course, like, can't, if you reverse the roles and it was a title on the line and Jay, he's laughing at Paul Heyman on the pole.
Yeah,
Jay and like
I can't get the image out of my hand of him dancing with that song in the background. If you want me, but like that, and Paul Heyman like twerking on the pole. Yeah, it's that's a main event.
I don't know if I heard that song before.
You got me, Triple H.
I don't know if I heard that song before.
Sure, you have.
Who sings that?
I'll play it right now. Hold on.
It's my. I legitimately never heard that before.
Really?
Something I got to put on my playlist.
No, you don't, EJ. You're a child of God. You don't need to do that.
If you say so.
I'll tell you what, the contract signing though, so good. So there's been 2 lines in promos this week that have just like, I've been like, this is why I love wrestling, because it was so in passing, and if you weren't paying attention, because these stupid fucking European crowds or English crowds talking over the music and shit like the DJ. CM Punk is sitting there crying, tears in his eyes. EJ, Paul Heyman crying. My tribal chief grabbed the mic and said, "One man's dream is another man's favorite paycheck."
That was a good one. I mean, it comes to show you, man, what I've been saying for years now, Roman's just a natural dick. That's why when he was trying, that's why they were trying to like make him some like white meat baby face. It didn't work. Now he's just being himself, and he's as over as ever as like a fan favorite. So just let that man be him. That was hilarious.
One man's dream is another man's favorite paycheck. And then he put his head back and his hand on his stomach and just did a belly laugh while Punk sitting there crying. You talked all that shit about me when you were leaving, right? About how everybody's got to make me look good. And 10 years later, we fast forward, and I'm that fucking guy. And here you are crying over a spot that I've had 10 times. Whew.
But we got to talk about the other side of things. What about Seth Rollins crashing out? That was the crash out of the year so far.
You know, when I said my two favorite lines happened, I thought about putting Seth in here. But Seth being like, the main event of WrestleMania is the most important thing in the world to me. Except Punk not getting the main event. You talk about player hater of the year. This fucking guy. I love being in the main event, but you know what I love more? Your motherfucking ass not being in the main event.
Yeah. As I said, man, just crashed out. Just he was like throwing a temper tantrum. I'm like, it ain't that deep. But I guess that shows you how much he hates CM Punk.
And that's where me and Seth see eye to eye. We see eye to eye on Becky, and we see eye to eye on hatred for CM Punk.
But okay, so going back to them main event, it's got to be like a twist or something, because whoever wins it, they're just gonna that's the thing about WrestleMania: champion holding the belt when the show closes out. The person who wins the triple threat is just gonna throw their hands in the air and all right, we're out.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll be there to see it, though.
Indeed, we will. So I think it's gonna be some type of twist, but I'm enjoying the ride. I guess I have to sit back and be patient.
We're not going to talk much about AEW because we got Dynasty predictions. So let's get to Monday Night Raw. The two big segments there. Actually, three. We'll start with Bianca, Rhea, and Io. I'm having an issue with people online being like, oh, Bianca's coming off so unlikable in this story. Shut the fuck up. This woman won the Elimination Chamber. She got a one-on-one match against the champion at WrestleMania. During the title match, she was sitting outside cheering for both women, cheering for a good match. Rhea Ripley throws a hissy fit because she feels like Bianca's not cheering for her enough and loses the title, right? You fast forward a couple weeks till last week. Adam Pearce comes on TV and says, Rhea's had a rematch clause. Like, I don't understand why she's acting the way she's acting. So you're telling me you've been walking around, mommy, throwing a temper tantrum for weeks when you could have just agreed to having a title match. You put Bianca, not a referee, into the match as a referee. Rhea hits her mistakenly. She doesn't disqualify her. Then Rhea swings on her. Remember that video with the motherfucker with the twisted tea can? Dude called him the N-word? That's basically what Rhea did. She had the twisted tea can, hit Bianca upside the head. She still didn't DQ her, which I don't understand.
It's funny that you mentioned that twisted tea video. I literally shared that video with someone last week that didn't see it. It like went across. It like slid past the radar. So it's funny that you brought that up. I just watched that again. It was a skinny little white dude. He was like,
he was
dropping the
shit,
N-word.
though.
He said, "Pow!" It was over.
Upside his head. So Bianca ends up DQing both of them, and now some kind of way we're going to end up in a triple threat match. And people online are telling me that Bianca's the heel in this. No, Rhea Ripley's the heel. Io Sky's the babyface. Bianca's the babyface in this. She didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. She hasn't had a misstep in this. But everybody's projecting because of the shit going on with Jade Cargill and Naomi. And then I don't even want to talk about these fucking UK and English crowds booing Bianca. Like, she's done nothing to deserve getting booed.
Yeah, you kind of beat me to it. I was gonna bring up like a rhetorical question. I mean,
Yeah,
people can people could fill in the context. Like, what is I would say? What has she done to get booed? And I guess you kind of answered that. But I mean, they have a track record over here. We're talking about people over here, but over there, if you watch like the English Premier football, quote unquote, soccer, what we call soccer here, they have like history of like throwing bananas and stuff on the field and shit.
Jeez.
So, if the shoe fits, I don't see why else would she be get booed. Maybe you can enlighten me.
No, that was it. I don't see another reason why. I don't see another reason why American fans would be like, Bianca's being heelish. No, the fuck she's not. She won a match to get a one-on-one title match. She sat outside the ring. I'm going to explain it again. She sat outside the ring and cheered for both women, and Rhea threw a fit and is now interjecting herself into the title match. It should just be Rhea versus Bianca. I'm sorry, Bianca versus Io. If anybody should be upset, it's Io. She's the fucking champion.
Yeah. And, that's why I kind of don't, especially at WrestleMania, on random pay-per-views, whatever. That's why I like the game you play with doing like babyface versus babyface and then a triple threat versus another babyface. I mean, fans should be smart enough, but sometimes fans feel like they got to choose a side. And of course, if they're going to choose somebody to boo, it's just natural for them to choose people with skin color like us to boo. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and the thing is Rhea versus Bianca versus Io is going to be a great fucking match. It's going to be way better than Charlotte versus Tiffany. There was such a better way they could have got here than taking the two top babyface women and making them look like such petulant children.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not good booking of the women. They could have did this with Punk, Roman, and Seth, and people would lose their shit about it. Like, why are y'all making Punk look like such a crybaby? One, because he is. People wouldn't stand for it, but when they do it with the women, they're just like, oh yeah, we could just turn Rhea into the crybaby. She's been a fucking badass for 3 years now, and now all of a sudden she's a sensitive, low confidence having crybaby. Come on, man. And I'm not even a Rhea fan, but like, you've built this woman up to be such a badass over the past years, and now you're just making her into this child. Like, what are we doing with the women?
I don't know. It's such a strange buildup. And I blame Triple H. I know he's an Io guy. And like I said, Io's fantastic in the ring and he's trying to elevate her, but at the expense of like the storyline, at the expense of like a match that people have been wanting to see for years now. You could have put her in a different spot, or if you were about that life, you could have had her take the belt off of Tiffany, or like have that be a triple threat match. The Tiffany and Charlotte be a triple threat match. If you love Io so much, like I said, I love Io myself, but I feel like she kind of threw what we had with Bianca and Rhea. And if Bianca and Rhea was like a one-on-one for the title, I think you would have had a scenario where both of them got cheered, maybe even overseas. I feel like it kind of awkwardly placed Bianca as the odd woman out. And, it might be some racial connotations, like we said, as well. But, Bianca versus Rhea, that could have worked. Both of them faces could have been like almost like a Terry and Ultimate Warrior type of vibe.
I I feel like there was no need to involve EO in this match, as much as I love EO. If you were going to add a woman to another match, it should have been Tiffany and Charlotte. I think Rhea and maybe that was the reason. Rhea and Bianca is main event worthy of WrestleMania. And maybe that was the reason they put EO in there and they made it convoluted, was so people wouldn't be like, well, why aren't the women main eventing over Roman, Punk, and Seth?
Yeah, I think you might be right. Some like slick shit they did. But here we are. And this is what we have. And like, are they thinking in the future? Like after this, now what? Like, what if it's kind of mess with the riz of all the three of them coming out of WrestleMania season?
We'll see what happens. They got Becky Lynch in the chamber.
Becky Lynch, you said they got Becky Lynch in the chamber?
Yeah. When in doubt, break open glass. Release the Irish Lass kicker.
In the glass case, I thought for some reason my mind went to the like elimination change. I'm like, shit, is another one coming up?
Speaking of breaking open glass in case of emergency, there was an emergency in the Usos' house Monday Night Raw. Gunther versus Jimmy Uso. It was almost like they were listening to Boot to the Face last week, EJ. Gunther's beating Jimmy's ass, goes to cover him, 1, 2, and picks his head up. Just like I called it. The zip ties were good. The beatdown was good. This ass whooping that Jay's going to give Gunther at WrestleMania is going to be generational.
Hold up. Did I miss anything? You said Jay's going to give Gunther ass whooping?
Oh, yeah. Jay's going to beat Gunther's ass at WrestleMania.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be an uphill battle, but he's going to overcome.
Nah, I think... Sadly, I think the way WrestleMania, the card is playing out, I think they're building this up to where Jay's going to come out and just smoke Gunther. I don't think this is about to be some 27-minute classic. I think this shit might go 7 minutes.
I'll put a drink up that doesn't happen. In the Vince era, hell yeah, but Triple H likes Gunther too much. It's gonna be a back and forth.
So what do we call a squash? Less than like 8 minutes? Jay wins?
Yeah, like six minutes or less. But
I'll be drunk. Oh, I want to clarify. I will be drunk. So if you can remind me to start my watch when the bell rings, we'll see what the time is. And whoever loses, we'll go to the concession stand right after that match, and we'll buy the other one a drink. I got less than 8 minutes, Jay winning the title.
No. I said 6 minutes or less is a squash, but even if you do 8 minutes right, it doesn't have to necessarily be like a beatdown. It could be still like a little bit fluky.
There's gonna be like 2 minutes of them looking around at the crowd and shit. Like, it's gonna be about 5 minutes worth of work and about 2 minutes worth of bullshit. I think less than 8 minutes, Jay wins this match.
Okay, I'm not betting on that. I was saying Jay ain't beating Gunther's ass. It's gonna be like fluky.
7 minutes or under on Jay Uso.
See, you're focusing more so on time. I'm focusing more so on how the match is gonna play out. I think even if how long or short it is, Gunther's gonna be beating him to like the brink, and then Jay's gonna come back and get the Uso splash or some shit.
But you can't do that in 8 minutes. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Upper hand, and Jay's just gonna come back and beat the shit out of him, spear him, hit like 7, 8 splashes on him, and it's over. I don't think it's gonna be close.
I think it's gonna be close. But
so the bet. What would you like the bet to be? I said under 7 minutes, Jay wins.
I said 6 or less.
I'll take
from bell to bell. From bell to bell.
6 minutes from bell to bell. I'll take it. If I gotta buy you a drink, I gotta buy you. As long as Jay wins the belt, I don't give a fuck. I'll buy you a double. If Jay
That's what I'm talking about.
so good though last night. Gunther just beating the fuck out of Jimmy. There was a lot of blood, right? Like, and I don't know if you I turned my sound bar on so you can hear not just for this, but I normally just watch Raw with the sound bar on. And you could hear Jay like yelling at him. And he was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. You better fucking stop. Don't do it. I'm gonna fuck you up. The talking back and forth like made that shit feel real. And I know, like, I'm 42. I get how wrestling is, but I don't know, just shit like that. I loved when Roman used to do it in the match. Like, make me believe the shit is real.
Yeah, for sure. And I hate to be like one of those super nerdy people and get, between the weeds, but I wonder, like, are they using real blood in WWE?
That seemed like real blood to me. It seemed like Jimmy might have took the blade a little bit too deep.
Yeah. It'd be interesting how they were all during the Vince era, they cut it out and they're all about the families and the safety of the performers. But then when Triple H take over, I side more so with Triple H. Like, if you're a veteran and it makes sense in the story, you know how to do it right, then why not? But still a little bit of hypocrisy under both regimes. I guess it's not hypocrisy because different regimes do different things. So, but I'm here for it. But like you said, the talking back and forth, adding more realism to it. You know, the zip ties, and you can see Jay's pain in the corner watching his twin brother get his ass kicked. It's heightened the level of anticipation for the match now, because they were kind of like skating by it. And it's a longer build up with you having like it being in the middle of April now, and so it's going to be some dead weeks as expected, but now they built up more interest with what happened on Monday, so I'm here for it.
Yeah, I was a fan. I hope they didn't sacrifice Jimmy to where the point where he won't be on WrestleMania, because I think this has been the most interesting Jimmy's been in a while. But yeah, sometimes you gotta be your brother's keeper, I guess.
Yeah, and get your ass beat in the process.
John Cena, Cody Rhodes, square off number 3. A couple weeks ago, I said I felt like they were protecting Cody and not letting Cena go at him. And even after last night, I still kind of feel that way. I still kind of feel like they were protecting Cody. And Cena brought that up. There was a lot of shit brought up between both men last night on Monday Night Raw. And let me tell you, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
This is the one night, nobody complains about Cody in a suit more than I do. But this is the one night Cody needed to have a dapper ass suit on. And he brought them big ass pinstripes out like it was 1997. And he was in a fucking Drew Hill video.
Somebody sleeping in my.
That's what it looked like. But him and Cena going back and forth, throwing bar for bar, fuck, I loved it. And Cody, no disrespect, like, I know people don't agree with me, but I'm a Cody fan. Cody fucking held his own. I didn't think he could. Now, this wasn't Rock versus Cena where Cena was just going off the cuff, or Cena versus Bray Wyatt, or Cena versus Roman, or Cena versus Austin Theory where he just said whatever he wanted. He stayed within the construct of the promo, but he was speaking some truth too. Yeah. Told Cody he was too polished, too perfect. You're fake. You don't even know who you are.
I feel like they just went on Twitter and see what people have been talking about, including us, the past year or so, and like copied and pasted, which isn't a bad thing because, like you said, he's speaking fat. And if the promo ended with Cena, I was gonna be like, man, Cody got his ass cut. But Cody came back with some good rebuttals and was able to, bounce back And I'm kind of mad that I didn't write notes down. So you're gonna have to refresh me on what Cody said back them, because I know he came back with some good, barbs as well to redeem himself where he didn't get cooked.
I feel like Cody's were kind of low hanging fruit though. Like, yeah, you got picked by the guy we don't talk about anymore.
I like that one. I like that line. That was one of the lines.
Which, let's be honest, didn't Cody get picked by the guy we don't talk about anymore?
Well, you probably have more knowledge of his first run, but I guess his second run, Vince was still there.
Vince fucking went to Cody's house, offered him the contract, and pushed the shit out of him until he was out. Cody was Vince's guy before Vince left.
Yeah, but I kind of get what Cody was saying. Like, they pulled John Cena as like the chosen one almost when he wasn't anything. Cody went out and built himself back up, and now Vince saw the value of him. So, not exactly the same, but I get what you're saying.
I have to push back on that too, though, because Cena was about to get fired. Cena wasn't the chosen one from the beginning. When he came in and he was wrestling Kurt Angle and walking around in biker shorts and shit, he was about to get fired. And the story goes that, I can't remember if it was Shane or Stephanie, one of them heard him like rapping on a bus or something like that, and they were like, "Can you do that on TV?" He was about to get fired until they found out he could like freestyle and shit, and they changed his gimmick up.
I heard
Cena was not the chosen one. Randy Orton was the chosen one out of that group. Batista was the chosen. Shelton Benjamin was higher on the pecking order out of that class that came out of OVW than John Cena was. Cena wasn't the chosen one.
And I get what you're saying. I heard that story before too. I don't know how much I believe in Cena. I think he's embellishing a little bit. He's about to get fired, but like you said, Stephanie was able to encourage him to rap. But Cena, he came up with a good gimmick. But when they saw that he had a little something, they put the battery in his pack and pushed him to the moon. I feel like Cody went out and created a whole company. I feel like he was like that big free agent that people wanted to get. Cena was still like a WWE product. Like, he went through the WWE system. Like you said, there was a few wrestlers that were ahead of him, but he showed that he had a little bit more juice than those other guys and was able, stand out. So he would get that push. But go ahead.
What you just said was a big deal in this, though. Cena, just like a bunch of other guys that left, had more juice than they did. Cody didn't have the juice. He quit. He left. He went and ran the indies, and then he started a whole company. And don't get me wrong, 2017, 2018 Cody Rhodes was like one of the most fun times I've had in wrestling watching that. But he quit. He couldn't fucking take what they were doing and make it work. And he left. Cena's right.
Man, I mean, both of them were spitting facts. Like I said, I think I give the slight edge to Cena because, like I said, if Cody didn't have a rebuttal, he would have got cooked. But it heightened the anticipation for this match even more. And I know we don't make our predictions until another few weeks, but I don't really know how this is gonna go because I was almost 100% Cody was gonna win, but I don't know. Especially if that was John Cena's last appearance. If that was John Cena's last appearance, then Cena's definitely winning. But if he comes back for another episode, then I think they'll put it back in the air of I don't know who's gonna win.
Cena's winning.
I gotta see. I'm not ready.
When it comes to Cody, I've seen enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you catch that? Did you catch that play on Cena enough?
There you go, bars. I can't.
You're a dick.
I can't. I mean, Cena wins, then what? We have another Brock champion. He's not gonna be there every week. I wouldn't be like completely mad at it because I feel like they tell some stories around the title, but maybe you
Cody's
could
not
elevate
there.
Jay's title, huh?
Cody's not there every week.
He's there a lot of more than Roman was. Um,
Roman's a bigger star though.
yeah. Not even gonna push back on that. It's how I look like defending Cody, but yeah, I mean, they could tell some stories with Cena being champion that like it's like the dick. Like I'll defend it when I want to defend it, and then you could just elevate Jay's, well, hopefully Jay's title, and that being like the Workhorse Championship again.
If I'm Cena and I win at WrestleMania, I'm not defending it anymore. I'm retiring with the belt. Like I said, I'm gonna take this fucking belt home. If you force me to be in the title match, Adam Pearce, know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get disqualified. Oh, no DQ? I'm gonna get counted out.
You can't get
No
counted
holds
out.
barred. I ain't gonna show up.
You can't get counted out on no DQ. It's literally no disqualification.
Hey, you know what I mean, though. Like
I'm a
you can
cheat to
try to
win.
make it, you can put all the stipulations you want. I'm gonna find a way around it.
And we mentioned that early on in my earlier days in Boot to the Face. Like, if you're a champion, why wouldn't you just get counted out every time? If you were smart, but I digress. But yeah, that'd be a good way to spin it. Just have them defend it in dickish ways like that. I'm here for it.
We got to get to the close of the show, EJ. We still got Dynasty predictions, man. Let's do Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
So, my street clothes wrestler of the week. There's so much wrestling on nowadays. It's hard to keep up with street clothes wrestler of the week. But my selection, I think she's definitely a repeat winner on my end.
Oh boy.
Somebody that eventually won you over. I got to go with the United States Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. She had the red skirt on, the red, I don't know what you call it, like a tank top blouse type shirt.
Game blouses.
I don't even know if it's really called a blouse, but yeah, she had the whole get up on, and she got her little crew behind her now. The what do they call it? The secret servers? Serve her?
Serve her.
Yeah, secret
Secret
serve.
Hervis.
Yeah, secret Hervis. Yeah, secret Hervis. Got your girl Alba Fire back in the mix.
Hey, my girl. I
But
was
then
an
Aladon was your girl. That's
Yeah.
you gotta feel like shit if you're Aladon. Like, why couldn't she have been in the secret Hervis as well?
I saw her Dawn on Instagram. I think she's feeling okay.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll see her return in the world of wrestling. I'm sure she's doing the indies. But yeah, Chelsea Green, my street clothes wrestler of the week.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week is your AEW Women's World Champion. Timeless. Tony Storm. She had the little fucking gown on cutting her promo. Is this the week she laid down in the middle of the ring with the spotlight?
These weeks were running by. That might have been the week before last.
Nah, it was this week. We'll just say it was this week. Yeah, because last week she called Megan Bayne a big bitch and she lost.
Yeah.
This week she came out and cut the promo on Collision, I believe. And she laid down in the middle of the ring with the spotlight and basically said, I'm going to beat her ass.
There you have it. The time is fine.
We move to power rankings, EJ, and this is going to be a difficult road to hoe for your boy, but I wrote them down.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's okay with you, I'll start at number 5.
It's your to go this week.
Number 5. With a big win. I wouldn't say a big win. But got a win this week with a middle rope haterade. Miss Jamie Hayter back on TV and declared herself for the Women's Owen Hart Cup.
That cup is shaping up to be something special. We got a lot of people that are declaring for it, including a certain forever champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Talk about that.
My number 5, And before I get into my number 5, man, I thought this was set in stone, but that's not going to detract me from, going with my theme of my list. They said that Evolution was supposed to be back this year, but I'm looking at it still rumored. I thought it was set in stone.
I heard it was supposed to be back also.
Well, hopefully they get that set in stone. So my power rankings this year is just the ladies this week. My number 5, she didn't defend the TNA championship, but she went against JC Jane. You're not a JC Jane forever. I'll say you're Gigi Dolan, but yeah, she beat JC Jane on Impact. I go with Masha Slamovich, your TNA Women's Champion, at number 5. Number 4, I was hesitant to put this one on there, but I can't be a complete hater. Besides, like, what, Royal Rumble, this is probably only like her second match, isn't it? Charlotte Flair beating Michin on SmackDown.
I forgot she even wrestled.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at the match either. Michin showed what she could do in it, but of course she wasn't beating Charlotte.
My number 4, even though she didn't get the win, Io Shirai. I'm sorry, Io Sky. I don't know why I always call her Shirai. She's just so fucking good. Like, and for her to come out as the babyface just off pure wrestling, because she doesn't speak English that well, so she can't do promos. So really, the crowd just loves her off of how fucking good she is. And she was the most over person in that fucking match.
Like you said, was it the European crowd over there?
I think Io's over here too. I think Io's over wherever she goes. People love Io.
Yeah, we'll see next Monday.
My number 3. This boy beat the dog shit out of Jimmy Uso right in front of Jay. The ring general, Gunther. What a bloodbath this was. We talked about it earlier, but just people want to like Gunther because they just do, right? Like, the guy's just a wrestler. Like, he's just if you like pro wrestling, you like Gunther. And he came out and was like, you don't like me, because I'm about to try to kill one of the people you like, and one of the people you love, I'm going to make him watch. I'm going to rub all his fucking blood all over me. What a masterful job it was to get Gunther to get people to actually hate him, and I feel like a lot of people do now.
Hey, that's what he's here for, to draw some heat. So I'm looking forward to that match at WrestleMania. That was your number 3?
Yep.
Our number 3 are your winners of the Dynamite main event. I got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Victory over Thundertits, I guess they're known as. What a wild name.
Thundertits.
Thunderstorm, the Thundertits. I could see I could see Rucker popping for that when he first heard it.
Wait, what do you mean popping?
Getting a kick out of that name, just laughing. Not that type of popping.
I was about to say, did you activate my webcam in my room or something? What the hell's going on?
Not that popping that some people may be thinking of. Whatever you do in your free time, that's none of my business. But
Thundertits. It's so funny. And, not for nothing, I love Thunder Rosa being in this position now where I feel like finally, after all the bullshit she went through with her injury and the Britt Baker stuff, like, she's finally getting able to be in. I know the story isn't about her, but getting her in there just shows, like, how good she is. And she can be funny. She can be a badass. She can do whatever. She's like a fucking chameleon.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm glad that she's been on TV more regular basis. That's what Collision is for, is to showcase people that might not get the time on Dynamite, even though she was in the main event of Dynamite this week. But I'm here for it. My number 2 was your number 5. I had a returning Jamie Hayter defeating Billy Starks in a really good match in the main event of Collision. And she declared herself for the Owen. You think this is like a good, like, kind of relaunching on her and like being in a more of the mix of things? I guess she was injured, wasn't she?
She's been back for damn near a year. She got
Really
back
that long?
last year.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah. Well, 7-8 months. But no, this is why I'm lobbying for a women's tag team division. I think she's got some friends that are free agents right now that could help bolster that up.
My number 2, it's all about the money.
Mm.
Mercedes wrestled her first match on Collision ever. Got a win, declared herself for the Owen Hart women's tournament, got attacked by Athena, the forever champion. I cannot wait for this feud.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say who's gonna win that match. I think I know my answer.
I think Mercedes is gonna win, and she's
Yep.
just gonna have all the belt. Like, they're gonna literally put all the fucking AEW belts on her and make her the most over heel in wrestling.
Pretty much. But I'm glad they're finally getting Athena in the mix. And she's been over there just running ROH. And I kind of wish they had a TV deal because there are rumors of them going to True TV. I guess that kind of fell through the cracks. I think that would have been a perfect spot for them. They get more eyes on people like Athena. But yes, it's been a while. Because didn't she initially debut with AEW and then she went to ROH not too long after that, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
So
You're right.
it's good. It's good to see her back up on TV. So I'm here for it. Like you said, it's gonna be a slapper. Hopefully they'll let it play out a little bit. And Tony, you better not announce this match tomorrow for Dynasty. I'll be pissed if he does that. You could wait until Double or Nothing.
Nah, it's a Dynasty.
Shit, why you have to rush into something like that? I don't understand.
Gotta get that money, dog.
Well,
Am I going number 1 already?
yeah.
Can't see him. John Cena.
Really?
Cooked Cody. He got cooked.
Man, I'm surprised. I thought we would have had the same number 1.
He got cooked.
He ain't cut.
He
He got sizzled. He got sizzled a little bit. But
Got his ass cooked.
okay, that's what we'll go with. Shit, I thought we're for real gonna have the same number 1 because this is a favorite of yours, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm going with still your NXT North American champion and still your NXT Women's champion, Stephanie McCure, defended the title against Jada Parker and Fallon Henley.
I can't put somebody in number 1 to beat Jada Parker.
All right, now she's a baddie, but you got to show respect where respect is due.
Yeah, I love Stephanie McCure. These were really good matches. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was putting my power rankings together, it was so long ago, I completely forgot about it. I need to start, like, I say this all the time, I need to take notes when I'm watching wrestling because so much shit happens in between our shows. NXT felt like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean,
So
when I'm doing my list, I just always think back, like, what happened at NXT? Oh shit, that happened. But I feel you. It's a lot that happens between then and now.
I want to apologize to Stephanie McCure because she is one of my. She's probably like top 3 or 4 favorite women's wrestlers I have right now.
Yeah, shout out to Stephanie McCure.
You were speaking about Athena a minute ago, and you talked about the ratings. AEW,
Uh,
the news just broke today that over 500,000 people watched them on Max, which,
mhm.
if you add that together with uh, how many people watched them on television, they're at about 1.2 million a week, which is pretty damn good.
Mhm.
I have a theory.
What's that?
If you've noticed, Jeff Jarrett hadn't been on TV in a while. Dustin Rhodes hadn't been on TV in a while. They've taken Swerve, Tony Storm, MJF, Hangman Page, Harley Cameron, and they have made these five people the focal points of most of their shows. These are the most over people in the company, and they've decided to hell with these old people. We're not doing legends. We're going to have Moxley beat Copeland and get him out of the way. They took the Death Riders off of TV for weeks. And I think when you do that and you take the people that are most over in the company, you make them a focal point, you don't have them on TV. Even guys like Will Hobbs, over. You have these people on TV every week without pauses, then you start building trust with the viewer, and they say, "Yeah, I'll watch Dynamite this week. I'll probably see Will Hobbs. I'll probably see Harley Cameron. I'll probably see Mercedes. I'll probably see Tony Storm. I'll probably see Swerve." Now you've built up trust with the viewer. And I think that's why their ratings are doing better. I think that's why for 4 or 5 weeks in a row they had over 3,000 people showing up to buildings now. A year ago that wasn't happening. I think they've got really good momentum going. You talked about this about a month ago, EJ. You were ahead of the curve. You said they had really good momentum going. Well, now the numbers are coming out, and they're fucking corroborating your story that it has been way better. And I think they need to stick with that. I think they need to pick 5 to 10 people to have on their main show every week and build stories around them. And everybody else, you just get in where you fit in.
And I agree. I agree with you. That definitely plays into a factor of it. Like you gotta, put consistent stuff on, and people will tune in and show up to the events. But I just want to back up a little bit to the beginning of the year when they first initially went to Max. You started seeing the TNT ratings come out or TBS ratings come out, and it like dipped from like the 700s or so to like the high 500s, and then you had fans like the trolls online. Oh, the ratings dipped, and then like I think I even mentioned this to somebody on like Twitter or something. I'm like, well, this is not factoring in the Max numbers. This is just factoring in the numbers from like the actual the TV channel. And lo and behold, finally, when a report comes out, it shows how many people are watching on Max. So I just think that's how the landscape of how people are viewing shifted. Because when we were discussing this before the show, we were like, both of us aren't ratings guys. I really don't pay attention to stuff like that. But you kind of just got to point out, the facts and whatnot. And that's where people are watching. Like every week they've been on Max. I've maybe watched on TBS once since they went on Max. I always watch on Max when it's showing live. It's just easy to access. Just throw on the TV, and that's just where TV is shifted. And then you have a fan like who maybe cut the cord, or maybe a casual fan like, since I have Max, I'll tune in now. I can just throw it on since I'm watching what's on Max nowadays, Righteous Gemstones or some other serious shows I'm missing. The Last of Us about to come back on. I'm watching The Last of Us, and that's over. I see AEW's right over there. Just click
Penguins
right
on
on
Max,
over.
right?
Yeah, Penguin. Yeah, Penguin. So like they're on a platform where it's easy to access. So I think you have a lot of Rogue fans that may have watched on some means that we know about that aren't the numbers weren't being counted, but now it's on Max now, and I can watch legitimately. So like you said, better storytelling definitely factored in, but just the being on a streaming platform, I think definitely helped boost those numbers up. So good move on Tony's part.
Speaking of Tony Khan and AEW, let's get to AEW Dynasty Predictions, and then we can get up out of here because we're running long.
Yeah, like I said, it's the Charmer Show. We talk about a little bit of everything. We always run over long, so we always run over long, so they can.
I'm like, we're running long. We gotta hurry up.
Yeah, but let's get into it, man. Dynasty, like you said, it's kind of just snuck up on us. So far, 6 matches only announced, but we know that's not how it's gonna stay. Unfortunately, I feel like this would have been a nice little sweet spot. This isn't one of your big 5. Why not have a card that's 6 matches and then you give the matches a little bit more time? But what do I know? I don't have $1 billion like Tony, so. But to kick this one off, I don't know the order of the actual card, but we'll go how it's listed on here. Kenny Omega, your champion, versus Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Bailey, 3-way for the International Championship.
Bailey's definitely taking the pin.
You think so? This early?
Yeah, I think they need to build Ricochet up. I think Ricochet and Omega could be all in.
I see that. I can see that as well. Okay, so you think Kenny's pinning Bailey?
Yeah.
I'm not a dirt sheet guy, but I see shit on Facebook from time to time. Unintentional spoilers. I'm hearing whispers of Kenny and Okada all in too.
That's something they should have done already, so I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm saving this one for last. Death Riders, Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta versus Rated FTR, Cold Cash, and Dax.
Death Riders.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm smelling new champions. I think this might be the beginning of the crumbling of the Death Riders. Let me get
Rated FTR's crumbling. Have you not been watching?
I think that's a swerve.
Nah, Dax is out of there.
Well, that'd be interesting. Some people are just tag team people. Dax has put on some bangers on singles match, even though he lost all of them. I remember I saw him in Osprey in St. Louis before Osprey signed. It's like 2023. Dax could go, but I don't know. I think people want to see them together, but we'll see. You might be right.
He's like, man, look at Jey Uso. I could do this.
Okay. I think that all he wants. He'll be in for a rude awakening if he thinks he can do what Jey did. That's funny. Next up, a match that shouldn't be on this card, but whatever. Especially they finally announced they moved Supercard of Honor. I think it's next month in May, and I think it's going to be. I can't remember. I'm not even going to try to pull it out of my ass. I can't remember where it's going to be at, but it moved it to May. So, but for some reason, this match is on this card. Chris Jericho, the ROH champion, versus Bandito. Title versus mask.
Oh, wow. I guess Bandito has to win if it's title versus mask.
Not necessarily. You saw what they did to Juventud and Ray back in WCW.
Hey, look how that worked out.
Who you got?
I got Bandito.
Yeah, me as well. I got Bandito. And Supercard of Honor is in Atlantic City.
Nice. More fucking gambling. I've never been to Atlantic City.
Me either. I want to go just to say I did, but I'm hearing this like, because when you think of Atlantic City, you think of casinos as well. I'm hearing it's nothing like Vegas. That's what I heard.
That's what, Jersey?
Yeah, it's Jersey.
I've never been to New Jersey.
I have, but I mean, Jersey. I'm surprised you didn't get to, step a little foot in Jersey when you went to New York. It's just like
No, I
literally
went
right
to
there.
Brooklyn and Manhattan, and I stayed all around New York, but I didn't go to Jersey. We flew over when we were coming back. I saw the WrestleMania Stadium like as I was leaving.
Mm. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go out of your way to go to Jersey unless there's a reason. But next up for your AEW TNT Championship, we got Daniel Garcia, your champion, versus Adam Cole, baby.
I think Adam Cole's gonna finally win.
You
I
know,
have
so,
no
no,
interest in this at all, though.
I know you're not an Adam Cole guy, but shit, can't win a TV title. Yeah,
The mighty have fallen.
main event all in 2023, 80,000. So I'll be I'll be glad if he was able to get the championship. Did I say I'm winning for Chris Jericho and Bandito? I got Bandito on that one if I didn't, and then I got Adam Cole in this one as well to be a new champion.
Those are my two picks also for those.
Now let's get into your world championship matches as far as AEW world titles go. Timeless Tony Storm with Luther, your champion, versus Goddess Megan Bayne. And Ruckus doing the posing and glowing again.
You know,
You better not do it.
I think Megan Bayne wins.
Oh man, you did it.
I
Why?
don't think it's like a good match. I think it's a squash. Sometimes a motherfucker comes along and you have to forsake everybody else's bullshit for this motherfucker. And I think Megan Bayne is that motherfucker. I
And then you
think
see,
she's the female version of Wardlow, Goldberg, those types, to where she should just run through the division. And Tony should learn from his past mistakes where he didn't pull the trigger with Wardlow, and he should pull the trigger with Megan Bayne. Tony Storm's going to be okay. She could come back at All In and beat Megan Bayne. But if Megan Bayne runs through her, you have a bona fide star on your hands. This match shouldn't go 3 minutes.
and I get your point, but I just feel like they doing this in the wrong order. Should have had the TBS championship and kind of had a Jade-like run. Like you said, she's got all the tools. I just think it's a little bit too early because we saw what happened with Mariah May. She won the belt. Everything was so getting so reactions until she got back to Tony, and I'd be fearful of that happening to Megan Bayne.
I think the difference is Mariah May was connected to Tony Storm. Megan Bayne is just an ass kicker. She's got nothing to do with Tony Storm. So when she wins the belt, she doesn't need Tony Storm. Mariah May did. Mariah needed Tony Storm to continue her reign. Megan Bayne can beat Tony Storm's ass and just move on along. And people, our technology is kind of fucked up today, so we're not live on YouTube. But if y'all could see when I said Megan Bayne should squash Tony Storm, EJ just put his head down and shook his head like repeatedly, like he was not feeling that shit.
I mean, what you see we saw what happened with Laurel. He was super over at a time, but that's like a whole different story reason. Because, like you said, they could have ran with him because fans were actually. I don't know. And Wardlow's kind of like a lightning in a bottle. He kind of got over by being MJF's muscle, and he did the Powerbomb Symphony. Fans like to attach to stuff like that. Fans are kind of simple at the end of the day. Something repetitive, just powerbombing somebody over again, got over. I just need to see a little more reaction to Megan Bayne because like she's not getting like super booed or super cheered. She's just kind of in the middle. Like you said, she's a physical specimen though, and she's got all the tools. So, I mean, if they did do it, if they didn't have her have the belt, and you could just kind of build moving forward, I wouldn't be mad at that. Just to try something different. But for some reason, I just see Tony overcoming and retaining the title. But I wouldn't be mad either way. There's nothing wrong seeing something new. But like you said, it might be a squash. Who knows? We'll see. Tony, like you said, Tony wouldn't be hurt from it. So
Nah, she'll be fine. She'll come out and say Thundertits on Wednesday, and everybody will forget she lost.
yeah. And like, what's going on with like Holly Cameron is over. She was. I hoping she still is over, but I just hope they don't drop the ball with her and have her like just middling around with her hologram.
Megan Bayne wins the title, destroys everybody. Harley Cameron wins the Owen Hart Cup and beats Megan Bayne at All In. Fucking book it.
Yeah, I mean, fans would be into that. That's a
Feel
good
the
way.
wrath, EJ.
That'd be a good way to keep her momentum up instead of her messing with hologram. So, hey,
Hologram.
like I said, I'm in for trying new stuff just to see what sticks. So, yeah, do it. Like Ruck said, book it. This would probably be the main event. I don't know, but it should be. Your champion, John Moxley, defending it against Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. What do you think about that segment that they had this past Wednesday?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
What about it like stood out though?
It was just good pro wrestling shit talking to each other. Like there was nothing meta or behind the scenes or any of that. It was just like, I want the belt, you got the belt. You want the belt, I got the belt. We need to fight.
Yeah, sometimes Kiss keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, sometimes less is more.
But did Swerve actually convince you that he can win on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I think Swerve is gonna win.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, shit. So I guess that's your pick. Man, if that happens, if I'm John Moxley, I'm firing all of y'all fucking Death Riders, y'all worthless pieces.
The Death Riders, dude, they've held the title on this motherfucker for almost a year.
Man, if they just let Swerve win straight up, and what the hell do I have y'all here for? Swerve don't got no crew anymore. He left the Mogul Embassy in the dust. So I got John Moxley. I think a topic that we'll eventually have to have is whether he drops the belt at Double or Nothing or All In. I think that'll be the question after this weekend. I could be wrong. Swerve could have a winning back-to-back dynasties, but yeah, I got John Moxley retaining.
I have breaking news, EJ.
What's that?
I know you don't like spoilers, but I feel like this spoiler is it's not technically a spoiler, like a match outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Your NXT Women's and North American Champion has just relinquished the North American Championship, and there will be a 6-woman ladder match at Stand and Deliver to crown a new North American champion.
Yeah. And I kind of had a feeling that they just wanted her to defend it at least once. Because, like I said, I don't think this was in the cards for her to win the women's championship. You know, circumstances happen and the injury happened, and she's able to get a little bit fast tracked to the title she's going to eventually win anyway. So, you know, they want that North American belt to elevate somebody differently. So I'm not mad at it.
I'm guessing Julia got hurt.
Yeah, Julia got hurt. So, yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Well, if you don't have anything else, EJ, we'll get up out of here. We ran a little long. We got 2 more shows after today until we both head to Las Vegas. I'm excited.
Let's get it.
Again, don't forget, April 14th is the first day of WrestleMania T-shirt week. Just tweet out a picture of you in or of your favorite wrestling T-shirt. At the end of the week, a winner will be picked. There's no reason for you to pay anything to enter. You just post your pictures. You get one entry per day. The number of entries you do does not affect if you win or not. You just post your picture and hope for the best. And hashtag WrestleMania T-shirt week. This is like the 11th or 12th annual. I don't know how long I've been doing the competition, but as far as WrestleMania T-shirt week, put it like this. The first ever WrestleMania T-shirt week, I had a Hulkamania shirt on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that didn't age well.
That's how long ago that was. I have a picture with Gail Kim, one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time, Caitlyn, who I just had a crush on basically back then, and WWE Access. And the only wrestling shirt that I owned back then was a Hulk Hogan shirt because I was him for Halloween the year before. So all of those pictures are shit.
Did not age well. You were never a Hogan fan like that either.
Right.
So it's interesting that you wore that.
I didn't even like Hogan, but I was him for Halloween the year before. And I was like, oh, well, this is the only wrestling T-shirt I have, so I guess I'll wear this to WrestleMania.
Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah, we went down there to the Dome. We probably went down there about noon. We were down there all day. We went to Access. We went and got something to eat. And then we went to the most awful WrestleMania they probably had in like 30 years, WrestleMania 27. The Miz and John Cena in the main event with The Rock as the guest host.
Ooh.
Snooki fucking wrestled.
Ooh.
She was on Trish Stratus. I think it was like Snooki, Trish Stratus, and John Morrison versus like Lay Cool and somebody else. It was just. I did get to watch Randy Orton RKO CM Punk though and beat him, so that was pretty dope.
Besides that, like you said, that sounds like a terrible card.
Triple H versus The Undertaker originally. So I don't know if you were watching wrestling back then, EJ. They had these vignettes coming up like 3/11/0 or 3/11/11 or whatever year it was, right? All these vignettes kept coming up, and you're like, "What the fuck's happening? Like, who's gonna debut?" Rumor has it was supposed to be Sting. Sting was gonna debut, interrupt The Undertaker, and fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania in Atlanta, the home of WCW. The deal fell through in the 23rd hour, and they just put Triple H in there.
Yeah. I wasn't watching back then, but I remember you mentioned that on here again. I mean, in the past. But yeah, sometimes things don't line up. And who would have thought back then you'd be like, all right, they could do it next year. Shit never happened because for some reason Triple H had to go against them in San Francisco. I don't understand, but
and win. This fucking cocksucker.
That was stupid. But yeah, this your Hall of Famer 2025 for you.
You going to the Hall of Fame?
I think so.
Yeah, you're doing way more than me. I'm just out there to drink and gamble.
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
You got anything else you want to say to the people, EJ?
Nah, I think you covered up pretty much everything. Shout out to everybody that listening, and we're on the road to WrestleMania, so buckle up.
It's clearly WrestleMania season because our downloads are doing a lot better lately. Our views on YouTube are they're about the same, but yeah, we're getting a little bit more engagement on the social medias and the whole nine. So like, subscribe, share. We appreciate all the feedback. We appreciate all the downloads. We appreciate all the interaction. If you see us in Vegas, you don't have to buy us a drink, but we wouldn't mind it. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been another episode of Boot to the Face. Until next time, peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold with a tombstone, grab at the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go.